Hey, you folks still out there? So are we. Hey, I like this mask here. I had a friend of mine, Brenda LaVerry, made that for me over, she's well, I can take it off, or not off, but down, pull it down. It's a paisley too. It's kind of has some nice fabric. She's the lady and founder, she and her husband Ed, of Fuel So Good, and she's a very resourceful lady, and is taking this time to sew, do some things that she's always wanted to do, and she got into making masks. So I've got a nice mask now, and I was listening this morning on television, on the Today Show, about how to treat your mask. And it says if you're going out just like to get some fruit or making a couple of short stops, you know, when you come in, take it off, hang it up in the sun. The sun will sanitize it. And you don't really need to wash it unless you're out for a long time and or you're out running and get sweaty and stuff like that. Then you need to wash your mask. It's probably good to have two, keep one clean, but the way I wear this, I'm not around anybody much. You know, you can wear it, you can go out 3 or 4 or 5 times before you wash it, but it is good to wash it. And but Brenda, thank you, Brenda, very much. You know, and what are you folks out there doing while you're in quarantine? It's kind of funny. I was talking to Fran Markham the other day, and the Markhams here, that we're in the Markham Building, Business Center here in Tullahoma, and Fran and I have been friends ever since we were children, and she told me that she's taken 2 painting classes online, and she's also taken piano lessons online, and every closet and every floor and every cabinet drawer in her whole house has been straightened up and cleaned. Good for you. A lot of people are doing that kind of stuff and finding ways to be creative. You know, the other night, I guess it was Saturday night, that the world got together, and you saw, if you watched that, it was on Channel 4, some of the greatest entertainers in the world playing from their bedrooms, their kitchens, their garages, their living rooms, wherever they were playing from, and you know, not all dressed up shiny. They were in t-shirts and sweatshirts and whatever they wanted to wear, but they brought music to us in a 2-hour show that was just incredible, thanking all of the people who are fighting this war while we're at home, the people that are stocking our groceries, the people who are running our hospitals and health facilities, truck drivers. How in the world would we ever get through this without truck drivers? And all of those folks out there, first responders. And this show was a show of appreciation, not just from the United States, but from the world, thanking all these folks for the sacrifice they're making, because they're on the front line every day to supply the services we need to be able to stay at home. How much cooking have you done? Have some of you even learned how to cook for the first time? You know, it's kind of funny. Somebody said, well, I think it was Ricky Skaggs. He was on the Opry after the, after the big show, worldwide show, and said his wife Sharon White said, we're going to have to certainly go to the gym when this is over with, because we're eating everything we can get our hands on. It's kind of funny, you know, when you're around food and have nothing else to do, you'll find a way to eat it. So, you know, watch what you're doing. Try to find a way to be physical out there. And keep yourself, your mind active, your body active, and breathe. Breathe. It's very important to breathe and make sure that your lungs are working well. You know, if you've been to the hospital, like a lot of us older folks have, they give you, when you leave after a surgery most of the time, one of those things that you blow, that you use to help your lungs get better after a surgery. to make sure that you don't get pneumonia. If you've got one of those, and a lot of us have one in the closet, get it out and use it, and make sure your lungs are staying strong. It's a very important thing. And eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. Watch where you go. Be careful in the grocery stores. And I noticed that the fruit market down on Lincoln Street, down where Jimmy Farrow's used to be, for you old cats like me, is open. And I went in there and got some tomatoes and some cucumbers and onions and stuff the other day, and all fresh and good. And they're just glad to be back open. And a lot of our states are going to open up. And with that said, is it time? Well, the people are complaining. And they're protesting because they're running short of money, and they want this over with. And it kind of was confusing to me when I watched some of those protests. The very people that were protesting that it was all right for them to go back to work were standing side by side in a big old group of people protesting, and hardly any of them were wearing protective masks. So, is that the kind of people you want to put back together again? I don't know. I'm not, somebody smarter than I am. I think a lot of the states, and if you look at the map and it shows where the hot spots are, there are a lot of states out west and up in the northern part of the country who, people don't live, heck, those big farms and stuff, they might be 25, 35 miles away from their neighbor. So there's a lot of states that are probably capable of reopening, but there's a lot of us that when that happens, and I know Governor Lee is being very smart, and the mayors of our 4 biggest cities, Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Memphis, the mayors are meeting to find out what they're going to do, because just because the governor says we're going to open some things up doesn't mean that everybody gets to or has to. The governments where you live will make that decision on how that will happen, and I hope we are all very smart. I hope when this is over with and things open up that you will continue. This is not over. And the worst thing that could ever happen would be for everybody to go, okay, let's go back to normal, and this thing get a second wind and kick up. We've worked very hard to stay separate, and the social distancing is the most important thing. The hand washing, continue to do that. Wear your mask. Be smart about where you go and how close you get to people. And if you're going into the grocery store, a lot of these grocery stores even might have Alphabet Day. It might be my name is Gray, John Gray. I might have to go on G Day, where nobody but somebody whose last name begins with G gets to go shop, to where the stores aren't blown up full, and we cause this thing to resurge and get back. We're not over this. So let's still be smart, and as we understand how we're going to find our new normal, and I think there will be a lot of things will change when we get back. One thing I don't want you to do is, this is coronavirus, and poor old Corona beer, they're suffering for this, but no matter your circumstance, don't blame the lime. And one of the things I've been doing is writing and drawing. And Philip, can you put my lime? There he is. Don't blame him. He's a cool cat. He got his rose-colored glasses on, got a drink in his hand, and wishing peace to everybody. So he's not at fault. Don't blame the lime, whatever happens. And a lot of people are writing. I know my friend Tim that's playing music. A lot of our musicians are playing on their Facebook pages and doing shows, and you have an opportunity to go to BMI and look and see who's playing when. Scott Pallett, who we had on last week or week before, plays out of his shop every day, and most of these guys and gals have a hookup to PayPal. So, like when Tim does a 2-hour show, matter of fact, he played about 5 of our songs the other day, and there were people from Ireland and over in England requesting a song that Tim and I wrote. That, well, matter of fact, I did it at South Jackson Goes Country, Half an Angel, and Pick Up the Phone, and Country Road, and some of those songs that we've written, Chicken and Dumplings, are going all over the world, and how cool is that? Bless the internet. You know, a lot of music people thought the internet's going to be the kill of us, all this streaming, but right now the internet is allowing music to be brought to all of us from our friends, and you have a chance to send them a tip. So if they have a PayPal, do it. So I wrote this the other day. I love this. Philip, bring up, at the end of this, bring up the other picture. A wolf is at the door. An Afghan, Ahmed, asked the bartender, Ed, for another ale. A Russian, Rasha, passed out in her vodka. She's going to feel like hell. A Greek greets a giddy girl as she graces his glance with a grin. A Spaniard savors his sausage soup and a stein of suds, while Paul from Peru hoists up a few pints with his buds. A rabbi roars, bartender, one more round for us all. Even that frisky fat friar by the fire down the hall. A Scot blows his pipes for the loss of his wife to an Irish prick named Phil, as the innkeeper searches for the Frenchman who skipped out on his bill. A British cat is having a chat with a Swede slurping stew, as some Muslims mingle modestly with curry-scented smiles. The roads outside the tavern are empty for miles and miles. Americans, Germans, Japanese, and many more that roam found this safe sanctuary when they couldn't go back home. A crazy cluster of characters like I've never seen before. It's funny how we can all get along. Picture when a wolf is at the door. So it just goes to show, folks, we can get along together. This world doesn't have to be as mean-spirited as it gets sometimes. We're being pretty friendly right now. So when the wolf is not at the door, I pray that we can all stay friends and all work together for the betterment of mankind. We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
Guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, we're very fortunate here over the past almost 30 years to have interviewed and had so many wonderful people on television here in Tullahoma and our surrounding network area coverage. And Becky Buller is just one of the best, and we gave a shout out to Becky and said, hey, Becky, what are you and Jeff and Romy doing at home while all this is going on? Well, right now you're getting ready to see. Welcome, Becky Buller.
Hey, just plain living friends and family. Becky Buller here, gonna sing a few songs for you. Hope everybody's doing good and staying in good spirits and good health through this really tough time. Got a brand new single. It's called The Barber's Fiddle. I hope you'll check it out wherever you do your music downloading or streaming. We also have a music video out about it. I think you've seen that already here, but it is on YouTube. I hope you'll check that out too. But I'm gonna sing the song for you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Jean's Barbershop, State Street, the Virginia side. I walked in hand with Pa, 5 years old and terrified. Mr. Jean smiled at me, helped me up into the chair. In the mirror I could see an old red fiddle hanging there. The gray-haired barber caught my gaze, said that's a tale I'd like to tell of a young man who came in one day with a fiddle and a dream to sell. He tried to live out on the road, thought music was where he belonged. Well, it broke his heart and it broke his soul, made him sing a different song. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle moss everywhere I go. I'd fiddle until my dying day, if I could make a laugh on a fiddler's pen. He sat in this very chair, scared of what his folks would say. His hope was gone, his pockets bare. They warned him it would end this way. He returned to start anew, no money for a shave and trim. He asked, would this fiddle do? Said it wasn't any use to him. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle moss everywhere I go. I'd fiddle until my dying day, if I could make a laugh on a fiddler's pay. Mr. Jean swept the floor, spun me around and said, you're done. I begged him to tell me more. What happened to the wayward check out the music video for that. It's on YouTube. Just look for The Barber's Fiddle, Becky Buller, and it should pop right up. We've got some Coffee County connections in that video. My friend Ray Seckler is the barber in the video, and we filmed it at Cutshaw's Barbershop, Cutshaw's Classic Barbershop, right here in Manchester, Tennessee. Hope you will check them out. Big thanks to Adam Cutshaw for hosting us. He's in the video along with his son, Buzz. Really big thank you to them. And then Pastor Jake Dorak from First Baptist here in Manchester, Tennessee, is also in that video. So please check that out at my website, BeckyBuller.com, on YouTube. I'm going to send this next song out to all the folks over there at Jack Daniels who are making whiskey and hand sanitizer. This is about a guy from East Tennessee. It's a true story, but we changed the names to protect the guilty because this guy was infamous. We call him Charlie Lawson, and he was a moonshiner. I wrote this with my friend Tommy Austin, and it's called Charlie Lawson Still. And I gotta send a big shout out to the folks at DP Hopkins Banjos in Shelbyville for this awesome instrument. I know I don't say that right because I'm not originally from around here. It's supposed to be Cheville, but it looks like Shelbyville to me. But I'm from Minnesota, so you know. I do the best I can. And I gotta say, Daniel Harden, the bass player in the Becky Buller Band, is one of those folks over at Jack Daniels bottling whiskey and hand sanitizer. So big shout out to Daniel. We like to call him the Hulk. All right, I hope you'll sing along with me on this last one and just, again, I'm praying for all of us that we stay healthy and happy through this troubling time, that we reconnect with family, and that we just continue, that we're able to continue saying, "It is well with my soul." I hope that you'll sing this with me. Here we go. When peace like a river attendeth my way, and sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. Though Satan should buffet, though trials should come, let this blessed assurance control, that Christ has regarded my helpless estate, and has shed his own blood for my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. My sin, oh the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin not in part, but the whole, has been nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. And Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be saved. The clouds re-roll back as a scroll. The trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. 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 Amen. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, about a month ago, that beautiful lady was playing with some of the finest bluegrass musicians alive from the Bluegrass Hall of Fame on PBS. How fortunate are we to have Becky as a friend to play on our show. Multiple-time IBMA award winner and Grammy winner, Miss Becky Buller. Thank you, Becky, very much for being part of our family and allowing us to share you with our audience. We'll be right back after these messages.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, And now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman and
this is Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for segment 46.
Marching right toward 50.
We're marching on.
Pat, you know, I play with a little group called Us Two and Him, and I guess that we're most noted for outhouses more than anything else.
That's, some would say that's unfortunate, but that is true, John.
Some people, but no one else has tried to corner that market than us. So.
Oh, and you've got a real good fix on it right now.
Oh, I'm proud to live in Coffee County. Those other counties can't compare with us. But I must repeat what's been happening in our county seat. My gosh, it's really causing quite a fuss. Whoa, the interstate is a-coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right-of-way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Granny says to cancel Sears and Roebuck. Tell Uncle Joe to hurry up the door. With all this progress coming, we'll change the inside plumbing and shorten up our early morning stroll. Whoa, Uncle Bill has got a case of miseries. Hiking to that outhouse makes him tired. But he'll be a-getting better. He'll be an inside setter when they install that cesspool in the yard. Whoa, the interstate is a-coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right-of-way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Somebody out at ADC probably did this. Them engineers made 47 surveys. They said to put it there and that was that. They'll bring a big steamroller and flatten my two-holer, but I'll keep right on voting Democrat. Whoa, someday when I am old and tired and weary, some moonlit night I'll wake up feeling strange. I'll finish up my bath and stroll down my old path and wake up in a great big interchange. 'Cause the interstate is a-coming through my outhouse. They tell me I'm on their right-of-way. I'll sell today and I'll get rich, but my path will end at the highway ditch. I'm making my last visit there today. Oh yes, I'm making my last visit there today. Woo, Lord. was. It must.
That was magnificent, John.
Well, that's what we cut our teeth on.
Yes, sir.
Is those
Outhouses.
kind of songs,
Yeah.
and about chewing tobacco, about
Being level-headed.
level-headed,
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing.
You know, I've told you a lot of times, I think my favorite song of yours is the one about the gentleman that continued to go to church and sit on the front row even though he couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, he just wanted to know.
But I think my favorite line of any song was the steamroller going over my two-holer.
Of course, a steamroller was several years ago.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But it's still.
It still went over plenty of two-holers,
That's right.
I imagine.
That's right, sir.
Well, let's see, John. That got a little bit of a segue in what we thought we were going to talk about today. We thought we'd talk a little bit today about one and maybe two long-time high school coaches in Middle Tennessee. And it seems like in 40, 50 years ago, tenure of high school coaches lasted a little bit longer. Now a lot of places are changing them over every 2 or 3 years, whether they really need to or not. And that lets us remember how fortunate we are to have Coach Olive for as long as we've had. But one, Jim Cartwright was of Columbia Central in the Maury County system, and I believe he was from Nashville and went to DuPont, old DuPont, and he. Some people get him confused with a Jim Cartwright that played at UT, but this one that went to DuPont played at, I believe, somewhere out west, Wyoming or something. Anyway, went to service, came home after the Korean War, and became head coach at Columbia in 1958, and he coached till '83. He had a long tenure and real successful tenure. And he had some of these rural roots, like these gentlemen that were about to lose their two-holer in your song. But he was a character, and I knew him a little bit when I was coaching at BGA, but he was a really nice guy and share anything with you. And he loved school enough to where he liked to go to school, and he could only go to graduate school at MTSU in the summers for the one half of the summer school year, because in the second half he'd already be having coaching responsibilities. But he went every year, and he went long enough to where he got a doctorate. So that means he's going for 20, 25 years before he'd have enough classes to
me, he didn't seem like a doctor.
No. And I was with him one day when somebody came up to him and said, "Jim, why in the world do you want to have a doctorate? What good's that going to do for you?" Because he would tell you to his face he didn't want to go into administration. He just wanted to be athletic director and football coach. And he said, "Well, that's easy." He said, "The people of Columbia have been saying for a long time." He said, I can hear them. He said, "They're saying we need to get rid of that blankety-blank, big-nosed Cartwright." And he said, what I want them to do from now on, after this summer's over with, I've got that doctorate, they're going to have to say, we need to get rid of that blankety-blank, big-nosed Dr. Cartwright. But I can give you a couple of his great stories.
Pat, and let me. I knew him too, and in the student union there at MTSU, he would have a flock of people all around him. He'd be telling stories. I mean, and these people would just be me
John,
included.
they'd be young 25-year-old assistants from
too.
That's my point. It'd be 25-year-olds coaching at some place like Culleoka or something, and they'd be his instructors.
Yeah.
Would also be sitting at the table, and they're taking notes. Look like Weed Hopper taking notes at Confucius's lap there. It was incredible. But he went on first half of every summer session from the late 50s all the way in the mid 80s. He was there, and he was a legend. Now I'm telling you. But I think one of my favorite stories on him is one night he had a new kicker, long kicker for kickoffs. And the guy was a little bit more carefree than Coach Cartwright would have cared to really have normally. And they had this on film, supposedly. Now, I did not see the film, so I can't attest to it, but I know that there's several that claimed they saw it. This guy, on the opening kickoff, he starts up to the ball, and he whiffed it. And after he took about 2 steps past the whiff, he just kept on jogging straight about 5 yards, and then he came back around and looped around, and everybody just kind of looked like, what's going to happen now? And he made another run at it and whiffed it the second time. And he just casually went on past and fish hooked back, came back around, went to the ball, picked it up, and threw it. Picked it up and threw it downfield. And Coach Cartwright soon got, after flags were going everywhere, of course, he went and got him another kicker. And then they end up getting beat. So Coach Cartwright is really distressed. He gets on the bus late, and the guy's in the middle of the bus, and he said all quarterbacks report to a little extra passing duty tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning. And I don't know whether he had to walk home or whether he actually got to ride, but that did not go over real well with Coach Cartwright. We're getting the signal, John, that it's time to quit, so we may have to go to another coach later. But I want to finish with his obituary. He wrote his obituary, and the last sentence, and it was really well done, but the last sentence said he was married for 52 years to a lady who tied with his mother as the two greatest women in the history of American civilization. And I'll tell you, from knowing Coach Cartwright, if he stayed with her for 52 years, she was a great American. and John, that finishes us. Segment 46.
It was great.
I hope we have some more if management let us come back.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is, The Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is, The Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Coffee more and working county by increasing access to education, to income, health, and basic essentials. We partner with some of our local nonprofits every year. We partner with different ones, and all of our donations that we receive get distributed to our partner local nonprofits in the area of Memphis. So right now we have 16, which is great. So we have 16 that we're helping currently, which right now during COVID-19 we haven't really, I'm talking to them almost on a daily basis right now with their needs and what they need from me, if I can help them with anything right now. So, yeah, that's kind of the basics of what United Way does. And there's many United Ways all over, but we're very local. So we all have chapters. We're very local. Like I said, we serve those 3 counties only. So we just focus on those 3 counties, and that's it for this United Way.
Okay. What brought you to working for the United Way? I know you just started working for them. Was it this month or last month?
It was, let's see, the mid last month. So
Okay.
basically when all this COVID-19 hit was when I started. But so my husband, Joe Abraham, has been on the board for some time with them. So I've learned a ton through him. And I've also volunteered for Partners for Healing, for some of our local nonprofits. And the best way to honestly learn about our local nonprofits is to volunteer and get a hands-on experience. And so I've learned a ton just by volunteering around the community. That's when I kind of got even more interested and kind of wanted to work with more than one and on a grander scale. So I was very interested in United Way because we work with many of them. So I'm super excited about this position.
All right. Well, do you only work with organizations, or if individuals need help, can they contact you? Okay.
Yes. So we are getting calls right now from both sides, from the nonprofits and from just people needing help, right, especially right now, with rent and utilities and all that right now. So we're getting both sides, both calls all the time. And we do our best to kind of, especially right now during this pandemic, to meet the needs of even individuals and help them out financially, because it's tough right now with everybody out of jobs. So, so it's on both scales.
Okay, and for the funding for the United Way, does that come only strictly from donations, or do you get federal help or state and local with that?
We get some through the United Way worldwide, and a lot of it is on donations by organizations and individuals. So some of it does come a little bit through just the big United Way worldwide, but a lot of it comes from individuals and organizations that send us, donation checks and stuff every month. So that's the biggest thing, is our funding comes from you guys, basically, from the public. And then we just distribute, we just give. Basically, we're the umbrella. You guys give it to us, and then we hand it out to our community, to our nonprofits. So.
Okay. Can you give me an example of a story that you've done recently, without a name, of somebody in need in the area that came to you?
Well, we have been partnering with, are you familiar with We Are Tullahoma?
Yes, sure.
Yes. So Lee Fogel, she actually just joined our board, which is awesome. So we've been partnering with her and working kind of side by side almost every day to meet the needs. Like some of these people, the other day there was one lady that Lee and I talked about, and I think it was elderly woman, but her son was worried because he doesn't live here, but she does, and she can't get out right now to get groceries and things, and he was wondering if we could donate some and just sit them at her door. So we kind of were pairing with them because they have volunteers on hand right now. So I reached out to her and we got it done. She gave some toilet paper and some things at her doorstep, and a volunteer did, and they just left and said, knocked on her door. So I mean, it's everything. It's some families aren't able to see each other right now. So, and if you don't live near each other and stuff, it's tough to be able to help each other out. Yeah. So that's just one example, but there are many examples that we're trying to do the best we can to meet everybody's need right now. A lot of it's food too, but the great thing is we do have a lot of food resources and food banks right now, pantries around the community, which if you go to, I created kind of a list of the food pantries around our community, because we're getting just a lot of, nobody, if you're out of work and stuff and, you don't have the funds right now for food, then I created a list on our website, which is highway55unitedway.org. I wonder if I can turn this around.
And that's just for the specifically for you.
This is for United Way. So this is our page, and if you go at the top right here, I don't know, hopefully you can see it.
Yeah.
COVID-19 food resources. You just click that. And I've posted this on our Facebook page and, our media outlets everywhere. And it will tell you right here, let me scroll in, a list of food resources, where to go, and what times they are too. Great. And even our school systems. So, which the school systems are for 18 years and younger. Anybody can get food 18 years and younger. And then, let's see. A bunch of churches, Storehouse Food Pantry, that's in Manchester. So we do have, and that's the thing, is a lot of people don't know where to go right now. So I think this list is helping people know where to go if they need that. But also a lot of these places, if you just call them, they'll do everything they can to get, food to you. We also have worked with, we're working with Publix, and we've been working with some of the local grocery stores to gather food and supplies to hand out to people that are needing those right now. So we're partnering with a lot of people right now to be able to help.
Okay. Well, if someone needs to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you to get some help?
Yes, sir. So if I have an email, so my email is director, kind of long, director at highway, spell it out, 55, number 55, unitedway.org. Or they can go on our Facebook page at United Way of Highway 55 and send me a message. So if there's a need, send me a message or email me. My email's on there as well. We're going go straight to our website, and you can send a message through that way too. So yes, there's many ways to do it.
Okay, and if somebody has extra and they're willing to donate at this point, can they?
Oh,
is that the same resources they would use for that?
Exactly. So yes, please, if there's people that have, look in the back of your cabinets and those old cans that are collecting dust. If they have some food to give, or even supplies, I know everybody's in need of, of some of the stuff right now, but please donate, and it definitely comes in handy. And there's people every day, like I said, reaching out to us that are in need right now. So we will definitely disperse it as those needs come.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for speaking with me today, Ashley. I really appreciate it. And
thank you.
And good luck with your work.
I appreciate it.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, folks, we've, for 28, 29 years now, supported so many things in this community and brought so much information to you. You know, we've donated thousands of dollars worth of hours and time to promote all of our nonprofits. We support our small businesses, and you know, we hope you'll do that during this time too. A lot of your small businesses are going to be struggling. Don't buy everything online. Wait a minute and wait, you know, do with what you've got until our local businesses open back up, and spend your money here at home. Most of our restaurants are serving at the curb. You know, call in. Just because their doors aren't open to you to go inside doesn't mean you can't still enjoy that wonderful food you're used to. Particularly some of y'all who are not cook at home a whole lot and are kind of tired of dealing with that. Give one of your favorite restaurants a call. They'll bring your food right to the door, and it'll be piping hot just the way you would have it if it was 2 months ago and you were going inside to eat and enjoy yourself at one of our local establishments. You know, in supporting our nonprofits throughout the years, it's just been so much fun, and those are they're all pretty much closed down too right now. Those are the places that weave the fabric of our community, the Science Center and the Art Center and the different caregiving facilities that are nonprofits around this town. And one of the ones that I love the most is South Jackson Civic Center, because that's the stage where I get to perform on more other than this stage right here. And, you know, one of the songs that you hear during this coronavirus thing on our ads on TV are Lean on Me, the song Lean on Me. South Jackson Civic Center's South Jackson Goes Country show celebrated its 40th year of Peggy Burton's mind-blowing opportunity to raise funds for South Jackson. She's the creator of it, and for 40 years the closing song has been Lean on Me. So today I'm going to bring you this year's cast of South Jackson Goes Country, Lean on Me.
your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hi there, camera lady and camera gentlemen. Thank you so much for putting a good, clear, colorful picture on the screen. And, we did have a big Easter weekend. It was a very blessed occasion, and the real meaning, I think, was right there for most folks. And the children with their Easter eggs and that sort of thing made it real great. Now, following this Keep Coffee County Beautiful, I think I mentioned it once before, but indeed it brings back memories of the first dump trash place in Tullahoma, and some of your older citizens would probably remember that the first dump or trash disposal place that I can remember was when it was on the west side of Rock Creek, West Lincoln Street, right across the creek from Lanham Manufacturing Company, and where the Life Communications building is now. It was off to the left of that building as you go into the plaza, but there was old ice boxes and tires and trash and boxes, and they burned it all right there, right by Rock Creek for years and years. There's always smoke coming from down there. And of course, that got to be a mess, and it got to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the city had some land out on Wilson Avenue on the Lynchburg Highway that, I don't know how many acres it was, but they used that for landfill for many, many years. And then it got filled with trash, and they moved it up toward Manchester on Highway 55 for a number of years, and it too became filled. And then the dump trucks and trash trucks, garbage trucks, take I think the garbage from this area down into off Powell Road, I think somewhere in Bedford County. But a community is judged by the way that the citizens maintain their property. In one sense of the word, if their houses are painted and the yards are clean and the grass is been mown and the leaves have been raked and the yards are cleared and the gutters don't have any trash in them, then any tourist or anybody coming into a community says, hey, this place is real neat, look at it. And it is, it's judged by, and everybody should take enough pride in their own property to keep it good and clean. It's more livable, more useful, more pleasant. And speaking of coming into town, I thought I'd share a little bit this morning about the streets and highways and byways. When I was a little boy, the only streets that were even similarly paved were part of Atlantic and Lincoln and Jackson right downtown. All the other streets in Tullahoma were gravel. And when they started to blacktop a street, they'd pour a dump load of crushed rock and then come over it with a portable tar spray and spray it down. Then they'd come with another load of finely crushed rock and put on top of that tar. And I remember them doing that back in the early 30s and 40s. And road grader, at first, I remember a little boy on Atlantic Street and Grundy Street, away 2 or 3 blocks away from town. They had a mule-drawn grader that they kept the crushed rock over in the middle of the street so that it would be smooth there. But dust, boy, the dust was terrible all over town. As Tullahoma grew, then they began to what they call macadamize streets, and that is there was a process that they used, not pre-mix like it is now, but you know, that kind of crushed rock and tar that was mixed together and paved some. And of course, it would get all over your tires and your fenders and your car, but it became a whole lot better way of traveling around town. And the city limits up until about 1940, 41, on the north side of Tullahoma, out northeast, it was the city limit was where Patton's Food Store is now. And on the opposite end of that, it was on West Lincoln, at the corner of West Lincoln and Cedar Lane. And on the Wilson Avenue city limit was at the corner of Cedar Lane and Wilson Avenue, where the old CVS drugstore used to be. And the other one on Jackson Street was at the corner of Jackson and Wilson Avenue. That's where the city limit was. And the cemetery was outside the corporation at that time. And the highway to Shelbyville, to Winchester, and to Manchester were not built until 1941, and they were military roads, and the general public could not use those highways until about 1945, when the maneuvers had been completed, Army maneuvers had been completed in Tullahoma. But by and little by little, streets further from downtown Tullahoma were paved, and I do remember that Jackson Street from Carroll to Wilson Avenue were paved in the late 30s, because they just had a 2-lane street there, no gutters, no sidewalks, no drainage facilities were there at all. But it was a great day for Tullahoma when they completed Jackson Street. Had been paved with 4 lanes there. And you know, they talk about the Indy 500. North Jackson Street from Friday noon till Sunday night is just like the Indy 500. It could use 3 or 4 more lanes on each side to accommodate the amount of traffic that's there. But they've come a long, long way, and we're glad that they have. Tullahoma's a beautiful town. It's laid out good, and thanks to the Public Works Department, most of the streets are in real good shape. And if you have a pothole in your neighborhood or want it repaired, just call the City Hall of Public Works, and they'll come and fix it for you. And we're glad that you got to be with us today. And remember now, this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. Thank you, and have a good day.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community, because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back and we're getting ready to close out here. Want to remind you again about our small businesses, small local downtown and home-owned and operated businesses. Find a way to do business with them. And Starbucks might be closed, but Fuel So Good is not. And they have the drive-through window down there. Josh will be down there to take care of you and get you some of that good coffee that they have down there. Just a second. Yep, it's good. Located on Jackson Street, and go by and see them. Thank you, Brenda, for my mask. And we just want to say thank you to a friend, a Tullahoma girl, who has for years for Emmylou Harris. And she sent Candy, my sister, Candy, a beautiful, beautiful piece done by Pam Rose, who works with Emmylou and has sung with Emmylou throughout the years. And it is how we're going to close the show today. It's just magnificent. And just watch this. And when it's all over with, remember that we're all in this together. And we will survive this. And my prayer is that when it's over, we'll continue to be kind and caring and loving to one another. So at this time, we'll go to Pam Rose and her rendition of Ave Maria.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Ave, Ave Dominus, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus, et benedictus fructus ventris, Patris tui, Jesus. Ave Maria. Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, ora pro nobis, ora pro nobis peccatoribus.